So I have to give a huge shout out to Loki Darkstrong on Twitter, who is very good at breaking stuff down even to the simplest terminology. But some people need it broken down even further, which is no problem because he'll do it. But then when it breaks down when it comes to the BlaKKKaren, as y'all know, I already did a video called Rise of the BlaKKKaren. And I think this might be another video that's going to be added on. I don't want to make this into a series, but if I have to, like I did with the Dave Chappelle thing, I will do it. So here we are again. And it's been a while since I've done a Twitter analysis, but this one had to be done because of the responses that this person gave. Now it says this tweet is from an account you muted, but I'm gonna show you what they said because I muted them because I got tired of having to like interact with this person. But on December the 6th, 2021, I put up a post called Black Feminism is White Feminism in Blackface. Spread the word, just a bunch of BlaKKKarens running amok. And like I said, I just came up with this term BlaKKKarens like this week. Well, actually, it'll probably be last week by the time this video goes up. And already it's starting to, catch on to some people. But another person actually said that I should add in 2 more K's there. So this is before they said put 2 more K's there, but it's still the same, pretty much the same thing. And I already did a video basically talking about what the BlaKKKaren is, but this time you're about to see a BlaKKKaren actually in action who is not, I guess you can say, a blue check person. So I'm gonna unmute this so you can see what they said. So it starts off with this person who goes by the name of Miss P. Witt. She says, explain feminism. What is it? To which Loki, let me click on it so you can see it a little bit expanded. To which Loki said, do you want the basic definition of feminism or do you want what has been mutated into definition of feminism? And then I came back and I said, I noticed she didn't come back for you when you said this. I don't think she's ready for the real definition. Now, this was hours before this comment that Loki Darkstrong left was hours before I wrote this, because at this time before I wrote this I was going in a back and forth with this woman constantly, and I'm not even gonna like hit y'all with the stuff that we went back and forth about because at this rate it's not even that important. Just know it was a bunch of BS. And then if we expanded even more, I said, I noticed that a couple of hours ago she's been posting against you and the young lady known as Nija, who's another person who we follow on here. She said, I'll wait for her response if she actually wants to speak to a black man her age group or older on this topic. I doubt she knows what feminism is herself. And truth be told, many women who claim to be quote unquote black feminists don't even know what the definition of feminism is. But she's the one that asked us to explain what it is. So this person wrote right here, equality of the sexes for rights, pay, and opportunities. Most white women, of course, wanted this for themselves, but not for the black women working for similar rights. Now, I don't remember seeing this one, but this one was left by a woman by the name of Diana Loves Food. I can't see the other responses. They said, this person, some of these people, I don't know. I don't recognize some of these, because, when the retweets happen, they kind of spread out and people will reply to it or whatever. And I don't even know who this person who goes by Sambo Smith is. But they said, I'll help you out broad. Black feminism specifically is a collective of brain dead pawns created by white feminist women to aid in the destruction of the traditional black family and breed black women to ultimately hate themselves and black men and boys. This one said, Kiki the Savage. She says, this is the dumbest thing I read all day, and then put 2 laughing emojis. But I want to get back to the task at hand, and that's just the discussion between Loki Darkstrong and this Miss P. Witt individual. This is actually when I noticed this person was actually starting to reach highly, because she wrote back to me, what the hell is the real definition? Now she's replying back to me. She says, I've been asking you, it's just another slanderous term against black women like hoe, bitch, hair hat, hood rat, and etc. You've had enough time to Google feminism and you still can't come up with anything that will make sense. Keep this part in mind when she says you've had enough time to Google feminism. Keep that part in mind, because the way Loki breaks this down, he breaks it down in a way that even Google probably couldn't even break this down. But keep that in mind for later responses, because she pops back up. I said, that's the definition you gave it, not us, so I guess that's what it means to you. She says, using a word directed at someone else and don't even know what it means, you are a special kind of stupid. Then I came back into her and said, you're a stupid of a special kind. At this point, I didn't really care what kind of insult she was throwing my way, because she did throw and hurl some insults. But at that point, it became childish, and you'll see exactly what I mean. So now what we're about to do is look at what Loki put or sent to her. He sent this long thread to her about what the breakdown of feminism is, and we're going to read every last one and incorporate what she responded back with. And like I said, keep in mind about what she said about Googling feminism. So the first one says, oh, there you are, a bit late in the evening for replying, but I can divert a few moments into my time. So there is a continuity to my answers. I will number them. To the point, feminism is solely European in origin due to that society's historical treatment of their women. European women, particularly those of the aristocracy, despite all of the fancy titles, princess, countess, etc., were nothing more than the pawns in a political and then economic dealings of their men, the most famous being daughters used to cement alliances. Of course, these women had no say in the matters, which led to centuries of resentment, both to their men and to the women who actually did question the system, with all this coming to a head around the 1800s with the suffragette movement. As a concept, feminism was supposed to be empowering women to be in full control of their lives, rather than just being a pawn, to stand beside their men as opposed to being towed behind them, which is something every other society already had to an extent, but I digress. From its onset, feminism was already tainted. While claiming to want equality with their men, these women wanted the power of a man without the responsibilities of one. A song and dance that played right up into the 1970s. Now, due to the late hour, I will continue this later. So basically, he stopped at 5 because it was getting late, and then he ended up picking it back up the next day. Also, if I seem to be time hopping with my definition, it's through the fact that there's not enough space on Twitter for me to properly express the information I have in regards to feminism and just how it is not needed in Black America. So I must condense my words here. So now, whenever you see something that says this tweet is muted from your account, that means I muted her tweets. And that's just because I didn't want to see the foolishness that she said. But since I'm making this video, we have to show what she said, just so you can look at the goofiness that she came up with. She says, why is feminist not needed in the Black community? I'm asking you now, assuming that you would define feminism later. This is how goofy she is. One, she's asking why feminism is not needed in the Black community. Like, you can tell that she is a BlaKKKaren, and she wants feminism so bad in the Black community. And when he's breaking down what feminism is, he's telling her, he's breaking down what it is, its origins, and all of that. But she just wants a textbook Google definition. She basically saying, if it's not on Google, it's not real. That's how goofy she is. But let me continue. Your predictable tirade aside, I did not Google anything in regards to my reply, although I could have easily have done so, which is what she wanted. She's basically like one of them kids that is probably one of the people that reads the book and points to every word on there while reading it very slowly. She's one of them people. And the words got to be in very big text, by the way. He says, although I may add references, this topic requires a personal touch. Anyone can regurgitate information, but understanding it requires the history behind it. As I stated earlier, this is a white woman versus white man fight, which heated up post-World War II, but did not really take off until the 70s as a result of the high of the 60s of dissatisfaction of the government because of the Vietnam War and poor economy. Fact of the matter is, the government was still waging an open war against Black America, with the source of Black unity, the Black family unit, as the primary target. And what better way to attack that than to split Black men and women apart at the very core? The names Gloria Steinem, Andre Dworkin, and Betty Friedan should be known to you. They're the ones who turned feminism from equality seeking to an all-out revolution, which sought to remove white men from power and place white women there instead. Same old, same old. Of course, they didn't have the numbers to do so, but Black women did, which led them to trolling Black women for their cause. Originally, a fool is gesture, since Black men and Black women were not at war with each other, and our women told these feminists so. I'm not sure if you're aware of our history. Historically, Black men and women worked as a team, with us against them as our motto. We knew who the enemy was and who our friends were. Our household relationships, families worked with no oppressive structure against our women. Of course, in the eyes of the feminists, they saw monsters where none existed, projecting their insecurities and more than likely envy into our lives. Brady Friedan was reported stating that she wished she could spank the black women who turned down her feminist offer. I do remember hearing about that, but I couldn't think of her name. For her reasoning was that they did not understand what was going on and needed motivation. The man you've been insulting here, Taurean Rain, reported this on his channel last year if you require evidence. First off, shout out to Loki for posting this because I did not know. Sorry to pause it right quick, but shout out to Loki for posting this because I'm gonna be honest, I forgot I did a video about her. No wonder the scenario played in my mind because I definitely did, and that's the video right there. In case y'all did not know, I did a video talking about this woman. Sadly, as the poor economy of the 70s forced black families to make hard choices by accepting welfare, which led the men playing a duck and dodge game with welfare officials who mandated that no man be in a household receiving it, some sisters fell to the pressure. Feminists fed them a nice anti-black male propaganda mixture which placed men at the center of all their problems while simultaneously telling them that they were not black women but just women owed no allegiance to the black community. You already have seen the results. The hypocrisy shown by these white feminists is pure irony. They set an image to black women condoning every mimicry of their outrageous behavior with selfish indulgence to the point of being a spoiled brat at the top of the list. Black women were encouraged to either be single mothers or not be mothers at all, focusing on a career that served their personal interests rather than anything that served the benefits of the black community, demanding the power to be in charge yet ignoring the responsibilities. Not to forget, of course, doing whatever possible to undermine black men from childbirth to adulthood. Yet after doing all of this, feminists don't do this to their own, something which has become noticeable to black women. So here is a logic question for you. Since the white family structure and the black family structure are totally opposite in how things are run, ours a dance of cooperation while there's dictatorship. Why did black women need feminism? Additional, in this attempt to prove that black men don't know what feminism is when we use the term, have you ever considered the fact that black women have used the term and identified themselves as black feminists, and why do they do so? So now we're back up to the point where it says this tweet, another tweet. So this is a tweet now coming from her because remember, whenever this pops up, this is from her account. So let's see what she responded with, and I'm sure it's some more goofiness. So here we are. She said, y'all don't even know what the the word means, yet you use it to signify something negative about your supposedly arch enemy, black women. Why God gave us males like you, I don't know. So Loki just went through and did a 21-piece thread on Twitter breaking down feminism to its simplest form where anyone can understand it. But she's still upset because he didn't give her the Google definition of the one that she wanted. So instead of her really comprehending everything that he said or not wanting to comprehend, she comes in and says that he doesn't know what the word means, or us as black men don't know what the word means, so we should just stop saying it. She clearly doesn't know. She said, yet you use it to signify something negative. No, that's because feminism at its core is negative, period. Whether it's black, white, or any other race of woman. But we're talking about you right now, BlaKKKaren. And she says about your supposed arch enemy. We didn't call you our arch enemy. You just called yourself the arch enemy. Is there something that you would like to get off your chest? You called yourself that. Just like earlier in the thread when I had addressed her about something, when they said, oh, black feminism means to say, is a term that's used to call a black woman a hoe or a bitch and all other things. You said that, not us. I did not come out of my mouth and say that. Just like I didn't force you to say this, Loki didn't force you to say that. You called yourself the arch enemy. So maybe that's what you think you are. Or maybe that's just what you are. You told on yourself more than once. And then she said, why God gave us males like you? I don't know. Well, maybe we should ask God, why did he give us people like you? She sounds upset. Let's keep going. I have already established the fact not only do I know what feminism is, I know its history, what it has devolved into, and the reasons why it has been inflicted in the black community. In contrast, you have done nothing to critique or correct any of my words. Back to the topic at hand. Feminism was inflicted on our community as a means to not only bolster the numbers of the white feminists in their campaign, but to weaken the family structure of our community by pitting black women against black men. You asked how black women could be encouraged to be single mothers, if mothers at all. The foundation for that was already established in the 70s with the welfare system, whose prerequisite was that black women on it could not have a boyfriend or husband and only a meager job. Adding white feminists to this mix, with them projecting their anti-male hatred of their own men onto black men and then telling black women that all men are alike and they need to break free and be liberated, further create this wedge between us. Now let's add all the sisters who for some reason wound up believing white feminist rhetoric. We're talking about you, Miss Peewit, and became feminists themselves. Not the original equality-seeking feminists, but the man-hating mutation that reared its head in the 70s. These sisters are mothers or will be mothers. These black women have children. If it's a girl, she is taught to view black men the same way that her mother views. If it's a boy, he is shown contempt to the point of abuse as a proxy for the father. These kids grow up, let's say during the 80s, which shows like Murphy Brown pushing single motherhood like it's some rewarding experience. Or that book, I Can Do Bad All By Myself, pushing a similar philosophy that influences the girl do not want to be with a black man. Now to the young man, whether he has suffered physical and or emotional abuse from his mother, the result is either he's a broken man who does anything to appease a black woman, or he's resentful of black women, or he decides to just not deal with black women altogether. Both these kids grow up and have kids in her own, and the pattern repeats itself with the next generation. Over the past 30 to 40 years, we have seen how this has damaged our community. During the course of time, feminism has completely devolved away from its origins. Over the past 3 decades, feminism has devolved from the purpose of women wanting to be in control of their own lives to women wanting to control everything around them without being questioned, namely being a white man, and their black counterparts are following suit. Ironic. So here we go. More goofiness. Let's see what she says. How did feminism lead black women to control everything around us without being questioned? Control what and be questioned about what? Boy, you sound stupid. Quit spamming my page. Now, listen how goofy she said. She said, quit spamming my page. Her page. But she's the one that came to my page and kicked this shit off. So if any page is being spammed right now, it's mine, you goofy BlaKKKaren. I almost said something else. She's that too. But I'm trying to keep it a little PG. Apparently, you have forgotten that this is Taurean's page and not yours I'm replying to which you have failed to bring any information you possess to counter anything that I have said. Even your recent reply, I've already stated the answers to. Now, if you're going to retweet my words on your actual page, you should at least have the decency to understand that what I'm saying in the capacity to counter in a manner befitting of an adult. Plus, for the record, I'm 55 years old, which I did hint to in an earlier reply. Now, once again, can you provide information to counter any of what I posted here on Taurean's page? Or are you just limited to childish insults to hoping to start an argument that will never come? So I replied with this 22 minutes ago. So this was recent. I said, that person is a whole goof troop. They went on to say if black women stop putting black men on child support, they will stop being called feminists. She even said we use the term feminism in a derogatory term. Let me pause right quick and show you what I mean with the responses by going to her page so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So here's one reply right here that she gave to Loki. And this is the one where he did at point 31. She says, look at this poor brother's attempt to justify calling black women feminists in a derogatory way. Well, at least attempt to rationale name calling. Let's give him an E for effort, LOL. She's so goofy that she doesn't even realize she's lost the debate. And it wasn't even a debate because she didn't even come with anything. She asked him or asked us, what's the definition of feminism? This guy, Loki, went on a whole thread breaking down what feminism is and literally gave literally subtext within a narrative of what it is, and all she could come with was a bunch of insults. So let's scroll up again because she replied again to point 37. So what she's doing is she's picking out what she wants to pick out, not what. And let's be honest, Loki, shout out to you. You broke it down the best way you could. But sometimes some people are just a lost cause. This is like talking to a brick wall with steel behind the bricks. She said, in essence, feminist means putting black men on child support. What? What? That's what she got. This is what she got from that thread. She says, it means demanding through the courts that they financially provide for their offspring. He couldn't have just said that instead of writing long. No, you goof troop. That's what you want it to be. That's what you want the narrative. That's what you want the definition to be. So she took everything that Loki put and jumbled it up into, and this is what she concluded with. See, this is the BlaKKKaren I keep telling y'all about. Y'all gonna listen, y'all gonna know that terminology by the end of the year. This is your typical BlaKKKaren right here. Most black feminists are. She says, sisters, you are slandered with the word feminist because you can petition the courts to make, and she put make in all caps, black men financially provide for his offspring. That's all these feminist accusations are about. What the hell is she talking about? And to all the guys listening out here, keep a note of this account. Do not ever try to get with her. I hope to God she doesn't have kids. I hope she doesn't. And I'm almost scared to see what, if she does have kids, what she's putting her man through. I'm almost scared. She says, when black women are no longer able to make black males responsible for their offspring by paying child support, you will never hear them call us a feminist again. Bullshit. Because there's a lot of black women out here who do not have kids. They do not have a man on child support, and they still acting just as bitchy as you are, Miss P-Wit one. Now I'm letting the words fly because that's exactly what the fuck you acting like. She says these black males today will kill you for petitioning the law to make, and notice she keeps putting make in all caps, make them financially support their own offspring. So she's literally taking everything that was said about feminism and black feminism and jumbling it into child support and financial. So for her, at the end of the day, it's all about a bag. It's a money grab. It's a fucking bag. At the end of the day, for people like her. Now, here's the last one. I'm not, like, after this, I'm a blocker. I'm blocking her ass after this. Says this is the last response for me. And this is a response for me. I said, this is the part where I was saying this person's whole goof troop. Then she came back and said, and this is true, you dummy. Child support and you being jealous of our successes. Skank, ain't nobody jealous of you. I'm gonna say to her, like I said it to the Coonstress. This Miss P-Wit one and a lot of these BlaKKKarens are their own fans. They are their only fans. I'm not talking about the website, although some of them are probably on there. They are their number one fans of hearing themselves talk about all the successes they have, all the degrees, because most people don't give a damn. Notice that hardly nobody is responding to anything that she has said. She hasn't had no replies or retweets here, no likes, none there, none here, none there, or here. But guess what I'm about to do? And look at this, not followed by anyone you're following. Thank God. To all the people that are following me right now, beware of this individual right here. Do not engage, because I'm about to go ahead and block this person. Block, of course. Goodbye. So now I do not have to deal with her foolishness anymore. Man, shout out to Loki Darkstrong for providing that information. It was, I know it was hard to deal with. I mean, it probably made your fingers hurt typing all of that out. But then again, you might have dealt with stuff like this before, but my goodness. This right here is like a whole thesis. A whole thesis right here behind the BlaKKKaren and why I have given her that title. Like, she literally took everything that Loki said and jumbled it up into her own narrative and still was wrong. Because that's typical of BlaKKKaren. She does not want to admit when she's wrong. So she has to make some shit up as she goes along. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the video on that note. I can't wait to see what y'all got to say down in these comments.